Hello and welcome to this tutorial for users of Microsoft Excel 2016 for the Mac. In this tutorial we're looking at how you protect your spreadsheet content. In this example table, what I'd like to do is allow people who are entering information to only have access to the cells in the tickets sold column and not be able to change anything else. So I don't want them to accidentally delete my calculations, for example, and I don't want them to be able to modify the dates or the film titles. At the moment, anyone who opens a spreadsheet has full access to anything at all, so you can select a cell and delete an item or modify it. I'll just bring that back with undo. So those kind of things can easily happen by accident with any spreadsheet, and the problem you have there is if somebody makes a change by accident and saves a spreadsheet, those accidental changes are saved as well. And that's why it's important to keep a backup of your spreadsheets, just in case something goes terribly wrong. You can always recover at least some of your information. But here we're concerned with how you can prevent those mistakes happening in the first place. Every cell on an Excel spreadsheet has properties, and one of those properties is that the cell is locked by default. Now you might think that sounds a bit unusual in that you can obviously make changes by default as well. But I'll be able to explain that a bit more clearly if I come over to the Cells section on the Home tab, click on the Format drop down there, and come all the way down to the Format Cells option. And that opens a dialog box, and you can see here we have Protection selected. There's a number of other options that you've seen before, but I'm concerned with the Protection section at the moment. And you can see there that the Locked option is already checked. So I'm going to just cancel that and illustrate what happens when you protect the spreadsheet with all the cells locked. One of the ways you can apply protection to the spreadsheet is go to the Review tab. So click Review, and you'll see there the Changes section, and the first option in that section is Protect Sheet. So if I click on that now, that opens up a dialog box with a number of options, and you can see here it says Allow users of this sheet to, and then a whole list of things that you can prevent or allow your spreadsheet users to do. Now I'm only really concerned with the first two options here. One is select locked cells and the other is select unlocked cells. Now at the moment I don't have any unlocked cells, so this second option is redundant. I'll leave it checked anyway for now, but what's important is this first one. So I'm going to remove the tick from select locked cells, which means I'm going to prevent people from clicking any cell on the spreadsheet that is locked. And as you know, by default they're all locked, so when I click OK, what will now happen is that I will not be able to select any cell at all on the spreadsheet. I'm just clicking around now, and as you can see, nothing is selected. Now if I try and double click on a cell, you'll see there we get a warning, and it's telling me that the cell or chart you're trying to change is protected and therefore read only. The next part tells your users how to remove protection, so you might consider it a good idea to apply a password when you protect your worksheets as well, and we'll look at doing that later on. But you'll see here as well it says on the Tools menu. So if I click OK now, click on the Tools menu, go down to the Protection section there, and you'll see Unprotect Sheet, Protect Workbook, and Protect and Share Workbook. Obviously we're just concerned with unprotecting the sheet right now, so if I click on that, or one of your users do, they can now select anything and modify whatever they want, as you can see there. So I'll just press Escape to cancel that. So using the Tools menu is another way that you can access the sheet protection options. So let's go about the process now of setting this worksheet up so we only allow our users to enter into certain cells. And those cells are going to be the range from C7 down to C11. So the first thing I do is select those cells. If I go back to the Home tab, come to the Format option again, the Format button, click on the drop down, choose Format Cells, and again there we see the Protection option. At the moment those cells are locked, so I simply uncheck the Locked option and click OK. You can also, if you prefer to use the mouse, you can right click on the selected range, and on the shortcut menu you'll find Format Cells there. I'll just escape for now, so that's another option. So right now we have these 5 cells unlocked, everything else is locked. And if I come back to that Review tab, click on Protect Sheet, and the first thing I'm going to do is set a password, which is a very simple one. It's just Fred, and I'll click in the Verify box and repeat the password. And so then we come to the list of things that I will allow my users to do with the spreadsheet. All I want to allow is then to select those unlocked cells. So as you can see, it's set up exactly as I want it. So select unlock cells and nothing else. I'll then click OK. So now I can't click any other cell on the spreadsheet apart from cells C7 down to C11. So if I click into C7, I can now update my numbers, and also I can use the tab key now to scroll through the unlocked cells. So if I press a tab key, and I'll just go through and update some of these numbers like so, the tab key will just allow me to cycle through the range of unprotected cells. That's another potential benefit of setting a spreadsheet up with some cells available and some cells remaining locked. Now if someone's using the spreadsheet and they're aware of the fact that they can unprotect the spreadsheet, they might come to the review section, and the button there now says unprotect sheet. It's a simple matter of clicking that, but they can't easily do it because they would need to know the password. I happen to know the password, so if I just type in the word Fred, press the enter key, and now that worksheet, again, I can just go in there and change the title of the movie if I want to, but I'll press the escape key again. So there's a nice easy way that you can prevent people making accidental changes to your spreadsheets. The other option there in the changes to protect is protect workbook, and if I click on protect workbook, and in a workbook where you have multiple worksheets, this is very useful. You can prevent people deleting or moving those worksheets. So you can see here the protect structure is selected by default. So I'll leave the password options blank and just click OK for now. And if I come down to the bottom left there of the window and try to add a new worksheet, well, we'll get this alert box pops up, as you can see. It says workbook is protected and cannot be changed. So I'll click OK to accept that. And to remove the workbook protection, again, simply come up to that same option, click the button there, and the protection is removed. It's a bit difficult to see sometimes, but if I click on it now, click OK, if you look at the button, you'll see it's greyed out around the edge. So all I need to do is click on that, and that removes that shading, and that means it's now unprotected. Now you've seen there how to apply a password to prevent people making changes to a spreadsheet once it's been opened, but supposing you want to prevent people from opening the file in the first place, what you would do there is go to the File menu, choose Save As, and in the Save dialog, come down to the Options button, click on that, and then have a dialog box to enter the password. There's two passwords, one to open and one to modify. I'm just going to enter a password to open, so I'll type in Fred, click OK, and I now have to re-enter the password to confirm. So again, I'll just type in Fred, and there's also an important warning here that if you lose or forget the password, you can't recover it. So be careful of that, and also keep in mind that passwords are case sensitive. So if I click OK now, and then click Save, I get a warning here to say the file already exists, you want to replace it. I'll say Replace. I will then close that worksheet down, so click the File menu, choose Close. I'm now going to reopen the file, so just go to the File menu, click Open, select my Fred's Classic Movie spreadsheet, click Open, and there we have the password box appear. Now if I didn't know the password, then I'd be stuck at this point. Luckily I do, so just type in Fred, press the Enter key, and there is my spreadsheet ready to go. That completes this look at protecting your Excel spreadsheets. I hope you found some things in there that are useful and you can apply to the spreadsheets that you're working with. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.